match preview. It is a massive, massive, massive day. Even Sim got a trim for it. Look at that. Sim's looking fresh and raring to go to Wolverhampton
for a fresh
tomorrow.
Tottenham.
Exactly.
Tottenham are going to be fresh tomorrow.
And we're looking to get our first win of 2026. Spurs playing bottom of the league, Wolves. And we just have to do the business. And, you know, it's not going to be an easy game. We all say, yeah, we're playing bottom of the league. We have to win, you know. We do.
Which is all true.
But it's not a give-me game as the table suggests or what Wolves suggest, because Wolves have been a lot better, particularly at home in the last month. You know, last 2 home games, they've picked up wins against Liverpool, picked up wins against Aston Villa. They took a point off Arsenal not long ago as well.
They did.
So, I mean, they've actually pulled some big, big scalps at Molineux in recent months. And let's hope Tottenham ain't another one.
Yeah, you've got to say that, you know, at one point they were obviously threatening to beat Derby's record, and everyone was saying, you know, this is one of the worst Premier League sides that has ever been. And to be fair, even with the points tally they've got now, it still holds true. But they've obviously shown they're a lot better and than what they were showing first half of the season. They were playing for pride mostly in the second half. But Rob Edwards has really got them, you know, showing that there is life. Even if they do go down, there is life in this team. Then, you know, he is a good manager. And, you know, the results they've been getting is very impressive for a team in their position. You would think that in those games there's no chance they'll get anything. And yet they've stuck in them, they've fought, they've made it difficult, and they've ended up getting the results. Now, it's interesting if you look at those games in isolation, individually. Like the Arsenal game, they were 2-0 up and cruising, and they conceded a worldie and just completely took their foot off the gas. But if you actually look at it, they should have won that game comfortably. You look at the Liverpool game, they were, I think they had so many chances, Liverpool. But I think Wolves didn't actually have a shot until they scored to go 1-0 up. Liverpool then equalised very quickly, and then it became a very basketball game right at the end, didn't it?
Well, in that game, Liverpool had 2.56 XG. Wolves had 0.44.
Yeah, so again, another game where if Liverpool either weren't complacent or whatever, they should have won that game, if you're being honest, but they let it get away from them. I think even after 1-1, Liverpool had loads of chances. They missed then. I think they scored with a deflection, didn't they, Wolves? And right at the end, and they got the winner. So it wasn't like my point being, it wasn't like Wolves outplayed those teams, but they got the result. So you got to respect that. And to get the Villa, you could argue they might have outplayed them because that was a good performance and that was quite an even game. And you could say Wolves probably deserves the win or deserve something out of that one. But I think when you look at the Arsenal and Liverpool one, they weren't better than Arsenal and Liverpool. They just got the result by sticking with it, showing a bit of grit. But they did have a lot of luck in that game as well. So my point being, if we turn up and we put ourselves in a commanding position, we just got to make sure we're not complacent like those teams, and we win those game. We win the game, and we don't let Wolves back in the game like Liverpool and Arsenal did, because it wasn't due to, I think, Wolves' amazing play that they got back in those games. I do think it was more Liverpool and Arsenal getting complacent and taking their foot off the gas. And obviously, even in the Arsenal game, remember, it was a massive mistake from Raya right at the end, which obviously gave them the goal. It wasn't anything amazing Wolves did. It was just a terrible error. So we just got to avoid those things. And if we do, we should win this game. But it is evidence that if you're not on your game and you are complacent and you think this game's going to be easy, they can take points off you.
Yeah, the thing is, though, it's just like Spurs have not been clinical enough for a while. We haven't shown an ability to score consistent goals, and we need our players to step up in that aspect. We need Conor Gallagher to provide more for us on the ball and to be a goal threat. We need Dom Solanke to get in the box a bit more and provide a goal threat. We need Matisse Tell or Moani, whoever it may be, on the right-hand side to get a lot better in those aspects as well. We know what Javi Simmons can bring. He brought it in the last game. But even him, he needs to step up a notch and be a bit more consistent throughout the game. So I think if our attacking players can actually perform and actually provide a goal threat, then there's no reason why we don't win this game.
I agree, but I do think we also have to be careful when we think about this game and we think about comparing it to the Brighton game, because I think in just style of
it's different game.
Completely different game. And if you actually compare it, it's probably more likely to be more similar to the Sunderland game than it is to the Brighton game. You even look at the Brighton game, when you think about the chances we created, off the top of my head, most of them were Tottenham winning the ball high up the pitch and springing on Brighton in a transition and exploiting the space they left behind. And obviously Brighton were the ones dominating possession for lots of that game. Whereas against Sunderland, it was quite different, wasn't it? They were springing on us. And I don't know what the possession stats. I think it was quite even, but I think Sunderland, we had more, didn't we? And then Brighton, they had more.
Yeah, against Sunderland, we had 48% possession.
Okay, so less. But I think Brighton, it was a lot less. I think there's going to be very, very different games. I think in this game, we're going to be the ones asked to dominate.
In Brighton, we had 42% possession.
Yeah, so it was quite different. In this game against Wolves, we're probably going to have more possession, I would assume. And we're going to be asked to break them down. And that's, against Liverpool and Arsenal, even when you played Arsenal at the Emirates as well, they were quite resolute in those games. They weren't giving up easy chances. It was quite difficult to break them down. So unless we're winning the ball up high and using all our energy to force mistakes, I can see it being a bit difficult to do it unless we get a bit of magic from the likes of Xavi.
I guess the difference as well is the personnel we had available in both games. I think Bentancur does make a hell of a lot of a difference. An ability to actually, like we said before, a bit of calmness, a bit of composure. We had Bergvall, Gallagher and Gray at Sunderland, and none of them performed well, didn't they? Bergvall put in his worst display that I can remember. Archer Gray wasn't at the levels maybe he has been in recent weeks. And
Xavi didn't play as well.
And Xavi didn't play, yeah, exactly. That's a good point. And Conor Gallagher was just awful that day as well. So I think with a better, stronger midfield, and also against Sunderland, we're coming up against a much stronger midfield with the likes of Siddiqui and Xhaka, who played really well on the day. The Wolves midfield, you're looking at a midfield of maybe a Bentancur, Bissouma and Gallagher. You expect that Spurs midfield can dominate this Wolves midfield.
Yeah, agreed. Obviously, Sunderland, as you say, have been much better than Wolves have been this season. That's for sure. To be fair, Wolves do have Andre, João Gomez, two good players. They're not bad players.
Yeah.
I think both of them could be Premier League players, to be honest. I think Angel Gomez is injured, I believe, so I don't think he's going to be playing. Although it doesn't say he's injured, but I thought he did get injured. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he got injured. And they play a back three system, don't they, Wolves? So how that affects us. We haven't, both Sunderland and Brighton both played with a back four. So playing with wing backs, how we're going to be able to deal with that is going to be a different challenge to what we've faced. Obviously, you have to take the positives of what we did against Brighton and hopefully take that into this game against Wolves. But I hope, and if we do maybe get an early goal, we break the deadlock and we open up the game a bit more, all of a sudden maybe this game can be more similar to the Brighton one. But I feel like Wolves are going to make it a very different game. What I would say is if we do pen them in, I look at their front line, and Adam Armstrong just ain't the paciest, is he? And you've got Van der Ven being able to just run in behind and mop anything up. I can't see, I see them struggling to get Adam Armstrong in behind too much. But one player who's just a very annoying player is Bellegarde, because he's just so hard to get the ball off. He never really does anything though, but he's just he's a very good player at getting them up the pitch and just buying time for his teammates to get up the pitch as well. So he's one I'll make sure we just shut him down. If he's not getting any influence, I think they do struggle a bit more to really get up the pitch and create chances. But he's one definitely I would watch. Get frustrated with and make sure he's getting shut down. But I mean, I'm looking at their team. There's not, obviously on paper, we should have the advantage, shouldn't we? Hugo Bueno's a bit of an underrated wing back. He's not bad. On the left, obviously, he scored a great goal against Arsenal, didn't he? 25 yards. But I think if we're dominated, if we're in a pattern of the game where De Zerbi wants us, which is controlling the ball with the ball, controlling the game with the ball, I should say, penning Forest in, I can see there being moments where they're being penned in and struggling to get out.
Yeah, and that's when we need to up that quality and show that we can be a bit more of a goal threat and be clinical. I think Spurs need to come out of the traps at 1,000,000 miles an hour. We need to show that we're the dominant team and we need to put them under pressure from early doors, because I do fear for us massively if we concede the first goal.
Yeah,
we have to concede score the first goal in this game. I think it's imperative.
Reality is we haven't. I've been saying that this stat throughout the whole season, but we haven't won a game since when we've gone behind. So if we go behind.
We've rarely won a game when we've gone ahead either, Sims.
Yeah, true. But statistically, we don't win. We haven't won. So the chances of us winning if we go behind are going to be extremely slim. So, yeah, you're right. We don't win games anyway, but we just can't concede the first goal. We need to make sure. I also think it lays down a marker for them. Like, this ain't going to be, you're already down. We're going to put you to the sword, and if you're going to get anything out of this game, you're going to have to find something extra to get something. And are you going to find it without that motivation of the points actually mattering? And obviously, they have lost 3 and 4-0 the last 2 games. Is that emblematic of that pride they were playing with starting to deteriorate a bit, and actually them starting to lose their way?
I think they find it at home. I really do. I think at Molineux, I think it's a different when they got their fans behind them, which their fans will still be behind them even though they're going down. They're going to want to beat us. They're going to want to drag us down to their level and bring us down to the championship with them.
But you look at those losses, they haven't really been getting battered like that, like even away from home.
Yeah,
for a while. Like, I don't see too many big losses there.
That West Ham game, they were actually started off the better of the 2 teams, didn't they? They were dominant, they were creating chances, and then once West Ham scored, they kind of crumbled and fell apart. So that's what we need to do. We need to get that early goal, and we need to do a quick fire, even 2 goals, 2-0 up at half time or something like that. Get those goals early. And then I think, we can get those 3 points.
I really think this is the typical game. This is like the archetypal game of, if you want it more, you win.
Yeah.
Because there is no way that Wolves should want it more than us. There is no way in the world, there shouldn't be a world where Wolves show more effort, more desire, more passion, win more duels, run more. There is not a world that should happen. And I really believe if we outrun them, if we outwork them, there is no way they win this game. I really believe that.
I agree.
And so if we want it more, that is the main thing we've got to show. Because they're already down. I know they're playing with pressure off. But pressure off also means that you're not really bothered about what the outcome is. As much as that relieving on the pressure can mean maybe your passes are more accurate, they're more maybe forward thinking, and maybe you're actually thinking about attacking a bit more because you're not too worried about conceding, and that can lead to maybe you making that extra run into the box and you making that extra risk, which can cause the opposition problems. And obviously they've gone on to get some good results. But it also means if they are down 1 or 2-0, are they really going to have the stomach and the fight to get out of that situation? Are they going to be able to fight even more to get a result which, when it doesn't look like it's on the cards, or are they going to lose belief and accept defeat a lot easier when the pressure's off? And that's also on the flip side of being the pressure off. That can also happen, and people don't talk about that as much. And that's also absolutely true. So if we take them to the sword, make sure that we early on let them know, look, we're going to want this more than you. Just lie down because this game's not going to be for you. Then we'll win this game. But if we come into this thinking like, tepid, thinking, it's going to be a very difficult game, and let's not give them too much, let's not risk it, let's not be brave, because this game is so important to be, we can't go into this game with the mentality of, never show any risk, because if we concede... No,
you go and attack the game from the first whistle.
You have to be brave. Even if that means conceding the first goal, you do have to be brave in this game. And I understand that scary thought, because, as we've said before, when we've conceded first, we haven't won. But we have to be brave in this game, and we have to take the game to Wolves, because if we want it more, we'll win this game. If we're braver, we'll win this game, and we have to show that on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's the other element as well. We have not beaten Wolves in the Premier League since Nuno Espirito was our manager, which is just nuts. Isn't it? At Wolves, anyway. We have not gone to Molineux and won since that second game of the season, 1-0, Dele Alli penalty. How mad is that? Nuno was our manager the last time we won at Wolves. I just can't believe. They are the biggest bogey team for us. We never perform again, even earlier on in the season.
It's weird. So I was looking at the stats. So we haven't won in the last 6. Yet before that, we were on a run of unbeaten in 14, 11 wins and 3 draws. So we were their bogey team at one point. Now they're our bogey team. 6 wins for a team like Wolves is nuts as well, considering the last 2 seasons they've been awful, haven't they? Been in relegation battles. It's just a crazy situation that we haven't.
They do to us what we do to Man City.
Yeah, literally.
Pretty much. Which is just nuts. I just can't believe that we're on this little run, or big run, where Wolves just consistently beat us, consistently get points of us, year in, year out. Again, they taken points at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this year, earlier on in the season, where we had to have a last-minute equaliser from João Palhinha, where he's taking off his shirt and going nuts.
Last season, I remember away from home, it was a bad one. We lost 4-2. But then at home, I remember we completely outplayed them, and they scored in the last minute, didn't they? Stratton Larson.
Yeah.
And we should have really won that game comfortably.
We were 2-1 up at half-time.
Yeah, we should have won
Sonny
that game
missed a penalty.
Yeah, that was not a great. That was a game we should have definitely won. Under Ange, I think they did the double over us. They remember that game? They scored 2 in the last minute. 2 in the last minute. They did that
was
to us.
That was Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto. No, it was
Pedro Neto ran the whole way up the pitch.
That was the other game.
Oh, that was the other game.
That was at home. We lost 2-1. Yeah, that happened as well. João Gomez scored a brace. The one away from home, it was just off the back of all our wins. And we had the Chelsea game, and everyone was like, okay, Chelsea was bad, but get back on track. We 1-0 up from most of the, I think we were 1-0 up from like minute 2 to like minute 90 because Johnson scored really early.
Yeah, third minute.
And then
91st and 97th minute. I remember being there that day, man. That was
painful. Under Ange. And then under Conte, we beat them. No, didn't we beat them early in the season? Harry Kane.
Maybe at home. I'm talking about the away games.
Just away.
Yeah.
So we beat them at home. Then the away game, it was we lost 1-0. That was right. They scored a free kick.
82nd minute.
No, Adama Traore.
Traore.
It in.
It's always late goals with Wolves. Always.
Then I remember we lost 2-0 under Conte when we were in the top 4 race. I think we were 2-0 down very early, and then we made a double substitution in the first half.
Jimenez and Dendoncker. No, just one substitution in the first half.
One substitution in the first half.
It was Kulusevski for Sessegnon.
I remember we couldn't believe our eyes in that game as well.
Sorry, Sessegnon for Kulusevski.
So they just have a way about playing us, don't they?
Well, this has to end. This has to end tomorrow. It has to. Because if we lose tomorrow, I cannot see a way that Spurs can beat this. Like, how have you got 5 games left to go? The first of the 5 games is against bottom of the league Wolves, already relegated, and you don't win. Like, then what hope do you have? What hope do we have if we don't win tomorrow?
Definitely, yeah. I think the belief will not be there from this team, especially in the fan base, that we can get out of this if we don't win. Now, it'd be interesting to see how our reaction will be if we do, let's say, lose and West Ham lose, and then the gap doesn't change. Will there be still a bit of glimmer of hope there that they lost? So if we can win the next one, but the reality is we can't keep saying, yeah, if we win the next one, yeah, if we win the next one, yeah, if we win the next one, because games are running out, and with each game that you don't win, the belief ebbs away that you are going to win a game. And so it has to be this weekend. It just has to be. And if we can get that monkey off our back, I think one win can get the ball rolling. It can snowball into something.
And also, because we were so close, we could taste that victory last week. 95th minute, conceding a goal. That was so soul-destroying. And if we can't back that up with a win, I think that's going to be even more soul-destroying because of how close we were to tasting that 3 points. I
feel like we just need to be in the lead by at least a couple goals going into that stoppage time. Because if we're only 1 goal in the lead, are we gonna shit it? Are we gonna bottle it? Because I don't know if I trust us to hold a 1-goal lead. No. It has to be at least 2.
It has to be. To
make us comfortable.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So let's just hope and pray we turn up tomorrow. Hope and pray we can get those 3 points. And regardless of what West Ham or Nottingham Forest do, a win will be big for us tomorrow, just to get that monkey off our back, just to prove to themselves that they can win a game of football. Because they haven't won a game of football since December. They have to just be able to show themselves they can win.
Chelsea on their 3rd manager since our last win.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
We've gone through the whole Rossini tenure and we haven't won.
Oh, God.
It's mental. I predict if we do win, I think by come the end of come full time we'll be out of the relegation zone.
Yeah,
that's my feeling.
I think so. I think West Ham draw with Everton.
Yeah,
it's a tough game for West Ham.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be Everton. Look, if they do, fair play to them. It's not obviously impossible, but I just get the feeling they're going to drop points. Yeah. So if we do win, I think that could be massive. And I think the psychological boost of being outside the relegation zone, I think will be big as well.
Yeah, good luck to you at Molyneux, mate, because the internet connection is absolutely horrific there.
Oh,
Trying to get the Everton West Ham score when you're there is going to be a hard task. But look, we'll be here on the watch long, and we'll be covering both games. It's going to be an emotional day, whatever happens. So come and join us. We're both going for Spurs wins. Believe we can get it. Believe, people, we have to get it. I've not even got a loss in my mind, but that's probably famous last words. How many times have we gone into a game expecting a win and we just fall flat on our asses? Specifically against Wolves, because it seems to happen every season against Wolves. Every time we go into it saying, surely we can't lose to these lot again. Surely we can't drop points to these lot again. Alas, we drop points. So I'm definitely going into it with my eyes wide open of what can happen, but we just need the win. We just have to get it. So believe, people, because if we don't, then it's all fucking over and all hell can break loose. But let us know your score predictions. Yeah, just want it more. Fight. We need to see fight on that pitch like we saw against Brighton. But this time they need to hold on, and this time they need to take their chances as well when they come their way. Because I think we can definitely get chances against Wolves. It's all about just putting them away. So. Let us know your score predictions. Come and join us on the watch along. Sim will be at Molyneux getting you all the content from inside the ground. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and come on you Spurs.